Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I had to go to my 10-year-old, one of his school programs this morning, so I'm a little bit behind schedule. Check this out. Brad comes from Digital Perspectives, who's doing the XRP Las Vegas conference. He just announced that he has sold out. I believe that's 400 people going to this thing. He's sold out, and I said Bitcoin Miami never sells out. Something I have not pointed out, but Jason Cousins, who's the CEO of Glint, one of my sponsors, where you can buy gold in your account and you have a spendable debit MasterCard, links in the top of the description, he's going to be there. So any of you that are going to be there, you'll be able to meet the CEO of Glint. And the reason I was thinking about that is because I saw this from eGreg Crypto. Gold, historical level, gold to $3,000. Needs $50 price increase to make historical move. And he says, in the meantime, gold might retest low 1900s, low 1900s if it got rejected from 2075. But I do believe gold is in its third attempt to break out to the upside. And usually the third attempt results are successful attempts. Old but gold. Sorry. I got my coffee here. Okay, here we go. This is going to be an interesting video. There's some interesting stuff going on. First is this. What in the world are they talking about? I saw this. FTX recovered around $7.3 billion in assets and is considered restarting its business. According to a firm's bankruptcy attorney, the price of FTX token jumped 110% after the hearing. Who in their right mind would put those three letters on any company going forward? But the bigger question for me, because to me, FTX was very obviously some type of a money laundering operation tied to a bunch of politicians. The question I'm asking is, was this money laundering operation too big to fail? That's what I think. Speaking of, and by the way, I think these two things are linked. Call me crazy. But I don't talk about that person on this channel, but I call him the island guy. But this has entered mainstream media. JP Morgan execs at the highest level knew about the island guy's, what he was doing with those, whatever. And they knew about it. Over 20 people, victims, were paid through the island guy's JP Morgan accounts, receiving more than $1 million each. These freaking guys, folks, if our country does not clean out the trash, we don't have a country anymore. These people are garbage, complete garbage. And these tentacles, from what I've seen, they all seem to be related, folks, and I do mean garbage. These kind of people, my children don't have a future in this country if these kind of scumbags are allowed to continue doing anything other than going to prison. And it's a lot of them, and it's high up people. All right. Twitter to enable crypto. And the more I see of Elon Musk, he seems to be one of the only good guys out there that's got any significant power or money behind him. And look what he's doing today. Cowboy Crypto, who is the official cowboy of the Digital Asset Investor channel. Twitter to enable crypto stock trading after eToro partnership. I got a lot of interesting stuff to show you here. This is a tweet from Leonidas back in March 7th, 2019. With more institutions using XRapid, which is what ODL used to be called, and more open corridors, I expect Ripple will announce more XRapid exchanges soon. He mentions eToro, and then Matty Greenspan, who used to be with eToro. I don't know if he is now. I don't think so. He says, any clues? He says, sure, here's a hint. This photo was taken in San Francisco today. This is the founder of eToro with Chris Larson. And here's the His name is Yanni Asia, I guess. But he is also that reminds me of something too. But he tweeted out another picture of him with Chris Larson. Then look at this, because this is interesting to me. Remember that commercial right there? Because he's got the HODL, shirt on, and this was a commercial. I think it may have been an eToro commercial. I think it was. But you know what that reminds me of is Hodor, because that's that guy with the beard. That's the same way that the guy looked like on eToro's handle, the Game of Thrones guy. Just an interesting coincidence. Then there was this from the founder of eToro. Back January 29th, 2019, catching up with Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple. That was in Paris FinTech. All right, now I went looking for articles, anything I could find, and what popped up, as far as eToro and Ripple. Well, one of them that popped up was an article that had been deleted, so I had to go back to the Wayback Machine, and here's what I found. eToro in discussions with Ripple and Flare Networks. And down here, let's see what it says here. It says, eToro is proud to have a large community of XRP holders on our platform and keen to support continued evolution of the Ripple ecosystem. As such, eToro is currently in conversation with Ripple and Flare Networks regarding the upcoming distribution of Spark, the native token of the Flare blockchain. Then they go down here and it says, quotes Brad Garlinghouse, Flare's significance is highlighted. From my point of view, Flare is combining the best of XRP, very fast settlement, Ethereum smart contracts, and Avalanche for consensus, which helps extend XRP's utility and allows developers to create smart contracts for new use cases like lending and DeFi. Okay? And then there's this. Well, I had screenshot this, and I was talking about how I had to go back to the Wayback Machine. And this came from a tweet from the De La Hodl, eToro in discussions with Ripple and Flare Networks. Then I found this, where the founder of eToro attended the Ripple Snoop Dogg XRP Community Night in 2018, May 15th, 2018. I have to call that person back. Then we've got this. This is Tony from Thinking Crypto. He had the founder on, and it was back in, I think it was 2021.
I think Ripple as a company is doing something great. They're trying to replace basically Swift.
Yep.
Does it make sense to replace Swift? Yes, it takes 2 to 3 days to transfer money overseas. That doesn't make a lot of sense. So is there an opportunity to replace Swift and create better, faster settlement system for fiat money? Definitely. Have they been able to build great relationships with a lot of banks? They have. Take the hat off. They definitely have been able to do that. The XRP system and Rapid and the entire sort of blockchain works, and now they need, they basically need to connect these two parts together, and I think that's exactly what they're doing. So they said, your Ripple as a company has unlimited resources because they have those $100 billion XRPs, right? So Ripple as a company has, let's say, unlimited resources to build basically a settlement and clearing service to the banking system. And they're doing a good job in embedding that in a lot of different banks. Now, that's currently a bit disconnected from what XRP is as a token. But I think what they're doing right now is they're saying, okay, we're going in these in parallel. This is the decentralized XRP. This is Ripple as a company. And then they're trying to sort of eventually converge this. So
converge this. My question is, converging it? Is converging it X.com? It's just a question I have. It's just a question I have now. You know how we've been talking for over 2 years about how, the case is coming to an end. What are we going to do? What if we hope it goes the right way? Da, 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 da. Well, guess who has been operating with a securities license for quite a while. That would be eToro, who just worked the deal with Twitter. Do you know what that means? That means that Twitter is going to be able to list crypto and securities. Whether a crypto is a security or not is what that means. How about those apples, folks? Now look, what I said is, did we just see Elon Musk and eToro do a crypto checkmate? Did they just checkmate Wall Street? In other words, all of a sudden, you've got this Twitter, this platform that has all these users that can now, the way I understand it, if they've got a securities license, no matter what Gary does, these guys on Twitter can now have XRP and everything else. Why not? Whether it's a security or not a security, whether the judge said, am I wrong? Somebody tell me if I'm wrong. I'm not an attorney. I'm also not a financial advisor, but tell me if I'm wrong. And then I just did an if I were Elon Musk. If I were Elon Musk and had a dream of going to Mars, I would want an intergalactic currency. PayPal Galactic hasn't been heard of since 2013, about the time that Ripple came onto the scene. I would create a super app called X.com, since I was obsessed with the letter X. I would put nodes on my Starlink satellites, and I would have other countries put nodes on theirs as a part of creating a trustless world economy where countries didn't have to trust each other. It would literally prevent World War III, because we would then have an economy where nobody had to trust each other. I would also make sure that everybody had nodes across their countries, at their government institutions, at their banks, underground, because then nobody would have to trust each other anymore. I would use XRP and XLM. They just happen to have an X in them. And I've shown you all the ties of Elon Musk and the PayPal founders to XRP and XLM on this channel. Then I would have X.com, SpaceX, Tesla Model X, XRP, XLM, XA12, which is his son's name. That's just what I would do. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that this is what I would do if I was Elon Musk.